Okay, we are recording, Lynn.
Okay, thanks. I'm calling the meeting to order. This is a special meeting of the Marquette Township Board. Today's Monday, and it's 2 p.m. Background noise.
Yeah, I don't know where it's coming from. Yeah.
Not showing up. Highlight. Okay, maybe that's it.
Okay, we're good now.
Good, thanks. If you want to take roll call.
Treasurer Johnson is excused and absent. Trustee Winslow,
Present.
Trustee Everson,
Here.
Trustee Marks,
Present.
Clerk Rattari is here, and Supervisor Durant.
Here. Okay, we're good. Any emails, Randy?
I do not have any.
Okay. We have a couple members of the public. Do either of you want to address the board before we get started? Okay, then we'll move on. I need approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Support.
Okay, roll call.
Clerk Rattari is yes. Trustee Everson,
Yes.
Trustee Winslow,
Yes.
Trustee Marks,
Yes.
and Supervisor Durant.
Yes.
Motion carries 5, 1 absent.
Okay. I'm not aware of any conflicts of interest with the topic today. So the discussion for the meeting is to consider the process in filling the vacant trustee board position that we have since November 20th. Not sure even the best place to start. We have had 4 or 5, I could look whatever John sent me this morning. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 people who are
On that list, yes.
semi-interested in the position. I did visit with one who called me last week to just kind of find out some information. I'm guessing these are public knowledge, right? They didn't say they're just curious, I guess, or interested.
All 3 had expressed interest, and I informed all 3 of the meeting today. And I guess that's about the extent of the conversation. I said it's going to be completely up to the board how you proceed.
Okay. They're not official, like filling out the form type applications. They just expressed an interest. So basically, we've got a couple different things we can do. We can put an ad in. We can solicit from the public. We can ask Dave or Pete if they want to come back on for the interim. This is a 1-year appointment, remember. I thought it was 2, and Roger clarified that to 1. We just need to do something before our 45 days is up. Otherwise, the county steps in and takes over from that perspective. John, did you have something to share?
Yeah, I think before we go too far into the consideration of how the process should work, there was a great deal of discussion at our last meeting regarding the awarding the vacancy to past members who might show an interest. I think before we go too far, what we should do is consider whether that has enough support for doing that without giving a lot of false hope to other people who might be a candidate should the vacancy exist further on. What I'm saying is that if there are 4 votes for a past member, now is the time to have that brought to the future, brought to the board. And I just am reluctant to have a lot of false hope with other people if in fact there are, if that's the feeling of the majority of the board that's present. And so, okay, I'll stop with it.
Okay, Randy?
Supervisor Durant, didn't you talk with each of the past board members, whether or not they had interest or not?
Yep. I did not get a recent update from Dave, but I did talk to Pete and he said he was interested in the appointment for the year if the board so desired. Those are the last conversations I had. Dan?
Yeah, I also talked to both of them and Pete definitely expressed an interest. And I think to move it along, I would like to make a motion if I can, that we accept Pete LaRue as our board member for the 1-year term.
Your motion's gonna be, Dan, to appoint him to the trustee
Okay.
position for a 1-year term.
Okay.
And
We-
Roger's chiming in.
Ball to it, Roger?
Well, technically, your business item on your agenda is to consider the process in filling the vacant position, not to fill it. And I know that's a fine distinction, but the discussion that you had at length at your regular meeting is, are you going to conduct interviews? Are you going to put an ad in? How are you going to go about it? And this is, since it's a special meeting and you don't have a unanimous presence, you have somebody absent, you are unable to amend your agenda.
Right, Ernie?
Well, my question would be, Roger, is basically the board figured out what they're gonna do in the process and they do want to appoint, so. I guess you could argue that.
So you can figure out whether you want to interview other candidates or whether that's the route you want to go, but that's not how the notice was or how the agenda was presented. It does not indicate anything about actually appointing. It was to discuss the process to be utilized.
Okay, so my opinion is the board at the time, I'm getting a consensus. I don't have there's no motion right now. Well, there is a motion, but we don't have a second, but the motion was to appoint the former trustee the position. Well, previous to that, the board discussed the process in which they wanted to do that, which was they didn't want to go too far into the process if this was a viable option. So, I mean, if we have to, we could put it on the next agenda, but I'd rather get someone appointed and move on.
I agree.
So if we decide that the process is to offer it to the previous trustee, and then whether that's in a motion or consensus, however you feel is
It'd be a
necessary,
motion, yeah.
why couldn't we make the motion then following that, saying, assuming Mr. LaRue is, willing?
If that's what the board wanted to do, then the agenda should have so stated. I hate to be the wet blanket on that, but the agenda item is strictly to consider the process.
So this is Linda. So Roger, we can make a motion that we have decided the process to fill the position is this, and then at the next meeting, then you fill the position.
That's correct. I know that sounds like jumping through a lot of hoops, but that's the nature of a special meeting. You're very limited on what you can do at a special meeting.
Okay,
So maybe Dan will want to withdraw his motion and reword it.
Would you like to do that, Dan?
No, I can withdraw it very easily and I believe we have a consensus, and if we want to indeed put that on the agenda, I guess if we have to I think everybody is feeling the same as I am, that we should give precedence to a previous board member, and there's no sense in stringing it out and letting anybody else think that we do have an opening if indeed we do feel that Pete's the one to come back. So however we have to legally do it, then that's the way we'll do it. I don't think it's going to change the outcome, but
So Roger, then, excuse me 1 second, John. Roger, the motion would be something like the process.
I can make that motion.
All right, well, go ahead.
Is the other motion removed?
It is,
Yeah.
John.
John? Okay,
Yep.
I move that the board consider the process to accept will be to first offer the position to a past member and then to proceed to other methods.
I'll support that.
Some of that was breaking up when he was trying to make the motion.
I have it.
You do have it?
Yeah.
So we're considering the process of offering the position to a past board member.
First offer it.
Okay. Do we have to end it right there then, or do we have to
Well,
say,
no, and if further consideration is needed, the process will continue. Randy Rotari has the motion.
Yeah, so the motion will be, Lynn,
Okay.
is to offer the vacancy to a past member. And if that doesn't work, we'll move on to other methods to fill the board seat.
okay,
That's,
is that good, John?
that's it.
Okay, just want to make sure we're all on the same page.
Thank you.
Good documentation of it. All right, do we have a second?
We do, it's it's myself.
I'll second it.
No, I did already, Lynn, you're good.
Okay, you froze up on me for a second. Okay. Discussion, questions? Okay, go ahead with the vote. Oh, sorry, Roger, go ahead.
The motion is fine. It directly addresses the process. A separate motion, depending on how this one goes, might be to actually put in place what Plan B is going to be in the event that offering it to a former board member does not come to fruition. Because keep in mind, you only have 45 days. And if you're going to have part of your Plan B as interviewing people, that would be something at this special meeting that you may want to very briefly talk about. That's probably a couple minute discussion only, but.
Okay, and actually that would be, even if the board voted to take this process and the board member, past board member declined, we would still want to address that at this meeting. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
To move this along so you don't have to do this again on what happens if you have a contingent plan.
Okay, so we can either then call a special meeting, another one to do it sooner than the December 1st meeting if we choose,
I
Right.
suppose you could.
just in case. So, within 15 hours or 18 hours or whatever, we could have another quick special meeting tomorrow if he chooses to come along to swear him in. Right? Unless,
Well, assuming you comply with both the 24-hour and the 18-hour notices, you could.
okay. That makes sense to everybody?
But the previous question before,
Yeah. Yep. Okay, roll call, Randy.
Okay, I'll read the motion again. The motion will be to offer the vacancy to a past board member. And if they do not accept, we will move to another process. So the vote will be trustee Marks,
yes,
Clerk Rattari is yes. Trustee Winslow,
Yes.
trustee Everson,
Yes,
and supervisor Durant.
Yes.
That motion carries 5, excuse me, yeah, 5 and 1 absent.
All right. We need another motion.
I would so move that if the vacancy still occurs after the position was offered, that we take applications and then go forward from there.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion and support. Any comments, questions? Mr. John?
Wouldn't you want to have a deadline for accepting those applications, knowing that you have a 45-day window to fill the vacancy?
Yeah, I would amend the motion for a 2-week time frame.
Support.
From today?
It would be from, I'm not gonna say today, because how about December 1st?
Okay. It's a little less than 2 weeks then.
Well, I mean, from December 1st, 2 weeks from that point,
Oh, okay.
if this vacancy does not get filled, so.
So basically we'll take them until, oh, that's kind of cutting it close.
That's the date of the second meeting in December.
Yeah.
Well, how about 2 weeks from today then, if we, but I don't want to give anyone a false hope if the other person does, accept, so. Well, we can go 2 weeks from today. If they send them in, we can always put them on file and move forward from there.
Well, we already have a list of interested candidates that could be reached out to fairly quickly.
Okay, well, 2 weeks from today, then that's what all my motion will be.
Okay. So we have support?
It does.
Okay. Questions, comments? Okay, go ahead, roll call.
And so the motion will be to, if we're not successful with the vacancy filling by the previous board member, we will take applications up to 2 weeks from today. And Clerk Rattari is yes. Trustee Marks,
Yes.
trustee Winslow,
Yes.
trustee Everson,
yes,
supervisor Durant.
Yes.
Motion carries 5 yes and 0 no and 1 absent.
I'm glad you were here, Roger. Keep us in line. All right. So do we need to end this meeting and I can place the phone call, or can we ask for
Yeah,
comment?
because it's a special meeting, Lynn, I believe we cannot
End the meeting probably, right?
we cannot call another special meeting in this meeting. You and myself will have to call another special meeting for that process, right, Roger? As long as the timelines are met.
Right.
So basically, we just have to end this meeting and then move forward.
Well, you still have public comment too.
Correct.
That's what I was waiting for. Okay. All right. Anything else on this issue? Okay. We still have 2 people on the line. Any public comment? Anybody want to address the board? I always like to wait in case you can't find your mute button. Okay. No public comment. John, did you have your hand up?
I
Okay.
do.
Oh,
I
both of you?
did, but this is the opportunity for public comment, so I was out of line.
Okay, no, that's all right. We stopped public comment, so we can do board member comment first. Nothing? Okay, you want to review the motions?
Yeah, the first motion was to approve the agenda as presented, and that was approved. The second motion was to the motion was to offer the board vacancy to a previous board member. And if that wasn't successful, we would move forward in the process another way. That was approved. And the third motion was if the vacancy was not successfully filled by a previous member, we would take applications up to 2 weeks from today. And that was approved.
Okay, perfect. Anything else? JK, have you got something then you wanted to add or ask?
Well, the only thing I was thinking is really the follow-up to this whole process, and that is making sure that no matter what happens, those people that expressed interest now remain interested come the November elections, so that we give the public an opportunity. That's just my opinion, but anyway, thought I'd say it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's okay. Anything else?
Yeah, my comment to that, Lynn, would be soon as the election calendar comes out for next year, which it hasn't yet, we could contact those individuals and give them the timelines if they choose to move forward in the election process. So, and anyone else that would like to also would have that information. So
And what length of term would that end up being?
that would be, I believe, a 3-year term, right, Roger? To
That's
fill the
correct.
rest. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just want to make sure. Okay. Anything else on that? Just need one more motion then.
I move to adjourn.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Clerk Rattari is yes. Trustee Marks,
Yes.
Trustee Winslow,
Yes.
Trustee Everson,
Yes.
and Supervisor Durant.
Yes.
Motion carries 5 yes and 0 no and 1 absent.
2:23.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Are adjourned. Yep.